I'm Jim Cramer. My partner Larry Kudlow stuck on the bridge, as were many commuters today. He should be here momentarily. Tonight, we've got earnings reports. We eat pancakes with the CEO of IHOP. I like that turn. We sip a Slurpee with the CEO of 7-Eleven, 52-week high. Hit the road with the CEO of Yellow Roadway, another 52-week high. And buy things at a discount with the CEO of Overstock.com. But the market in general, even though we got new highs, is very, very gloomy. So up top, we got to put together a panel to try to make some sense of all this. Plus, we got a debate about a job and wage conundrum. Are the jobs being created good enough? Not just for money, but quality. And that's all on the eve of the start of the Democratic convention. Next, a guy who's got a story very similar to what Larry said, the Yellow Roadway CEO. He's been a friend of the show, 52-week high, made you money. Later, you'll need something to drink to wash down those pancakes, right? How about a nice cold Slurpee? I happen to love the big gulp. I know one of my executive producers does. We got tons of those guys around. We look at earnings with 7-Eleven CEO. Stay with KNC.
Coming up next on KNC, we're going to have more CEOs on earnings. First, the chief executive of 7-Eleven, and second, the head of Overstock.com.
Controversial.
Poor man's eBay, but it's showing numbers.
Overstock.com's earnings are out. This is Patrick Byrne, chairman, president, and CEO. Mr. Byrne, you start your disclosure here with, this is a great disorder under heaven. The situation is excellent. Chairman Mao, is the situation excellent? It looks like that you made a lot of sales, but you didn't make a lot of money.
Well, before you make a lot of money, you have to make a lot of sales. We're building, we believe, a multi-billion-dollar e-tailer that will be capable of making hundreds of millions of dollars. So I'm comfortable how it came out.
Well, to zero in on Jim's point, Overstock.com quarterly revenue was up 205%, but expenses were up 103%. I like the revenue, of course. I don't like the expenses. What are the expenses? Because at some point, sir, even on this internet e-tailing, you got to produce profits. That's what the market wants.
Of course, but if you just extrapolate out, not too many quarters, if the top line and the gross profits, which I know you hate talking about, if they're growing at 100 to 200%, and our other expenses are growing at half their rate, you can see that in the not-too-distant future, we should have a very profitable company.
All right, Mr. Byrne, you've got some critics out there. One of them is a fellow David Rocker, who says that he would, you chose not to take his call in the conference call. So I'll ask a question that he wanted to ask, which is there a business model that works here with all the excitement regarding better sales? The net is that revenues have tripled from last year's second quarter, yet operating losses have doubled. That doesn't seem to be good.
Well, let me first correct a couple things. David Rocker is just angry because he's short and he's lost millions of dollars. And that's okay.
He
says that he didn't. He made some claim. I got this in an email today that I didn't answer his call. We have 160 people on the call. I would love to take his question on the call. First of all, I don't ever see whose name's on it. We had 160 people, must have been 100 people asking questions, so that's a silly thing for him to say. Look, he's just short. I met the guy a couple months ago. He's been short since this was 18. The guy's lost $10 million shorting us. And, you know, maybe he's right. Maybe he's right, Jim. So my answer is he should probably double up. He should probably get a lot shorter in the stock. Tell David he should get real short in this stock. That's my answer.
Well, let's not get too personal on this. This is if that's his business and you're in your business, Mr. Byrne. I must tell you, I was a little turned off by the Chairman Mao quote. You know, we're kind of capitalists here. How about quoting someone like Joseph Schumpeter or Milton Friedman or somebody like that? Put your capitalist cards on the table. You are a capitalist, aren't you? You're not a secret admirer of Mao.
Well, you know, that's I'm a big admirer of Milton Friedman, as a matter of fact.
That's good.
That was an unusual. That was, you know, the expression is "Tian xia da luan, tian xia da zhi." Mao wrote it in 1968 to his wife, and it's one of the smarter things he said. That the real meaning of it is in moments of great disorder is when there's the possibility of creating the greatest structure, the greatest success.
All right. Amazon reported a quarter where the acquisition costs were higher than people liked, and the I guess for each customer didn't make as much money. How are your acquisition costs running? Are they going down or up at this stage of the game?
They're running. They were $10 last quarter, $15 this quarter. They're still just about the lowest on the net, and we like where they are.
In terms of the things you're selling, there was a controversy about these fake Tiffany necklaces, and I believe you were even sued by Tiffany. How did that turn out, that suit? Is it over? And secondly, what can you tell us about your merchandising going forward?
On the fakes, on the allegedly, the putatively fake stuff, we're in a lawsuit. We're asking Tiffany for information on where these came from. It's our belief and information at the moment that this came out of a manufacturer who supplies Tiffany. Now, Tiffany is saying, well, were they licensed, not licensed? We don't know. We're trying to get that information from Tiffany. So far, they haven't turned it over. If as soon as we heard from any consumers that there was a problem with these, we immediately went out and notified all the consumers, offered them double their money back to return them. So how could we have acted any more honorably? As far as our merchandising, we're at this point, a lot of the great brands are coming to us. They've become convinced of the value of this kind of a channel to have a closeout. It's like a closeout mall at selling at half of normal retail price.
We got to leave it there, Mr. Patrick Byrne. Wish you all the best of luck. That's it for tonight's show.
Thanks,
On
guys.
behalf of Jim Cramer, Milton Friedman, Joseph Schumpeter, and me, we thank you for
Chairman
watching.
Mao.
And not Chairman Mao. You got that right. Anyway, for heaven's sakes, please stay tuned for Bullseye.
Good job.